Hello, dear viewers. It's such a pleasure to see you again on the channel. I wish all of us a new day, full of energy, peace, and joy with our loved ones. In today's episode, we'll follow a challenging journey. Alex's special business trip, a trip considered the last chance to save the company from the brink of bankruptcy. This isn't just a contract. It's a life or death gamble that will decide the future of hundreds of people. Can Alex turn the tide and bring victory home? And when he returns, will there be a sweet romantic proposal that makes Tuna's heart burst with happiness? Or is it only a dream the two must keep waiting for? Will happiness smile upon them after days of separation? Or will fate place yet more obstacles on the path Alex and Tuna are walking? Behind the lights and smiles, could there still be hidden undercurrents ready to crash in new hardships, new faces, and secrets never before revealed? All are waiting ahead, ready to test their determination and their love. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any captivating twists in the story of CEO Alex and single mother Tuna, where every episode holds unpredictable emotions and every moment could change everything. After receiving an urgent report from the operations department, Alex froze for a few seconds. The news was like a bolt from the blue. The most important shipment of the quarter, the one the company had poured all its capital and hope into, had run into trouble at sea. Sudden violent waves had struck, seawater had seeped into the containers, and the goods had become damp, losing quality. Alex knew all too well that if the client refused to accept this shipment, the company would immediately plunge into a severe crisis, even teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. Without hesitation, he immediately arranged everything to set off. This trip wasn't just an ordinary negotiation. It was a battle for survival. He told himself, "No matter what I have to turn the situation around, I can't let the efforts of the entire team go to waste." The flight lasted many hours, and during that time, Alex kept going over every possible approach to persuade the client. Countless scenarios ran through his mind. What if they demanded too steep a price cut? What if they insisted on rejecting the shipment entirely? Each possibility made his heart beat faster. But then he took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. When the plane landed, Alex immediately took a taxi straight to the meeting place. It was an elegant cafe, right in the center of the port city, with large glass windows facing the sea, where a gentle breeze carried the salty scent of the ocean. Inside, soft yellow lights bathed the neatly arranged wooden tables and chairs. In one corner, the woman Alex was about to meet was already seated. She was a renowned businesswoman in the industry, beautiful, yet exuding the poised elegance of someone seasoned in the harsh world of commerce. Her cream-colored business dress, paired with a pearl necklace, only enhanced her sophisticated aura. Alex walked in, smiling politely as he approached. "Hello, it's a pleasure to see you again," he said, extending his hand. "Hello, Alex. Please have a seat," she replied, her tone gentle, but her gaze sharp. They began with small talk about the trip and the weather, but both knew the real matter would come next. Alex opened his laptop, presenting the situation, explaining the cause of the incident, and especially emphasizing the company's efforts to remedy the damage. He made it clear that while the shipment had been affected, the majority of the goods still maintained quality and could sell well on the market. After listening, the partner set her coffee cup down and tilted her head slightly toward him. "Alex, I understand the situation, but the reality is the shipment is damp. In business, quality is paramount. My side can only take it back at 40% of the original price." That figure instantly made the air feel heavier. 40% meant Alex's company would face a massive loss enough to derail all financial plans. But Alex didn't give up. He kept his smile, adjusting his tone to be slower and deeper. "I completely understand your concern, but please consider the long-term partnership between us. We've worked together for many years, weathering more than a few challenges. With this shipment, if you take it at a more reasonable price, you'll not only help my company stay afloat, but also ensure your market supply remains uninterrupted." He went on to outline the special incentives his company could offer in future contracts, from discounts and delivery timelines to priority access to new products. The woman stayed silent for a long moment. Outside, the glass waves crashed against the rocky shore, reflecting the late afternoon sun. She tapped her fingers lightly on the table, then smiled. "You really do know how to persuade. All right. I'll take this shipment at a price higher than my initial offer. And furthermore, my side has several large upcoming orders that will require a stable supply. If you can guarantee the quality, I'll give your company priority." Hearing that, Alex felt as if a great weight had been lifted from his chest. He could feel each heartbeat growing lighter, and the corners of his lips curved into a smile, the kind he hadn't been able to wear comfortably in a long time. The negotiation ended in an atmosphere of warmth and trust. The two shook hands, not just as business partners, but as friends who had weathered hardships together. On the way back to the hotel, Alex looked out the car window as the city lights began to glow, each street shining brightly. He thought of his colleagues anxiously waiting back at the company, and of Tuna with her expectant gaze. This trip had not only saved the company from the brink of bankruptcy, but had also opened new opportunities for the future. After a trip full of pressure yet brilliantly successful, Alex returned home as the day was fading. The last rays of sunlight filtered through the tree leaves, casting warm golden streaks across the porch. His footsteps sounded softly on the familiar path, yet his heart was unusually light. All the burdens had lifted. The worries were now just part of the past. When the wooden door opened, the first sight that met his eyes was the cozy living room, and there his mother sat in her old armchair, as if she had been waiting for him for a long time. The hot cup of tea in front of her had cooled, a sign that she had been sitting there not to drink tea, but to wait for news of her son. Alex stepped closer, still wearing a bright smile. "Mom, I'm home." His mother looked up, her gentle eyes tinged with worry. Alex, was the trip tiring? Did the business go well? Hearing that Alex sat down opposite her, his voice filled with pride yet softened with relief. "Everything's been resolved, Mom. The company is out of danger." She smiled, but Alex noticed her voice sounded slightly hoarse, not as strong as usual. He leaned in to look at her more closely. "Mom, are you feeling unwell? Your voice sounds different." She waved her hand, keeping the smile on her lips. It's probably just the weather changing these past few days. I've been a bit tired. I saw the doctor, and he said everything's fine. Don't worry. Even so, Alex couldn't help but feel concerned. He gently held her hand, speaking slowly. Please take care of your health, Mom. I want to see you strong and well. For an important day coming soon. She only looked at him, her eyes as if understanding. But she asked nothing more. Alex stood up and quietly went upstairs after the long days away from home. His study was still as neat as the day he left. The warm yellow light from the desk lamp spilled over the wooden surface, where a few folders and his familiar notebook lay untouched. Alex sat down, rubbing his temples lightly, but his thoughts weren't on work. His mind was filled with the image of one person, Tu Na. He wondered, what was Tu Na doing at that moment? Was she thinking of him? Was she worried about him, the way he had worried about her throughout this trip? His gaze fell instinctively on a small velvet box lying in the drawer. Alex opened it, and a delicate sparkling ring gleamed under the light. He picked it up, turning it over in his fingers, feeling every detail he had so carefully chosen. This wasn't just a piece of jewelry. It was a promise, the embodiment of all the emotions he had kept locked in his heart for so long. In his mind, scenes unfolded like a film. He would stand before Tu Na, take out this ring, and propose. She would be so surprised that her eyes would glisten. Then she would smile through tears of joy. They would hold each other's hands tightly and share a sweet kiss beneath the setting sun. Alex smiled faintly to himself. He knew he couldn't wait another day. The decision was clear. Tomorrow morning, he would go to the farm. He would say everything, let Tu Na know how deeply he loved her, that every storm they had endured only made him want to stay by her side forever. Meanwhile, far away at the peaceful farm in the countryside, Tu Na sat in the small yard where a simple bamboo table filled with memories stood. The gentle breeze carried the fragrance of flowers and grass into the air, bringing back thoughts of Alex. She remembered the times they had sat there together drinking tea, laughing and talking. She remembered the way he looked at her, both tender and steadfast. But now all she had was the empty space beside her and unanswered questions. I wonder if his business trip went well. Is he thinking of me the way I'm thinking of him? Night fell, and the warm yellow light from the porch spilled over her and her drifting thoughts. She had no idea that in just one more night, everything would change, because the next morning, Alex would appear at the farm gate, carrying the ring and the proposal he had long prepared. It would be a special day, the day that marked a new turning point. After all the storms and trials, they would finally stand before the chance to reach for true happiness.
Hoàn toàn thay đổi. Cô đã hiểu và cảm nhận được tình yêu chân thành của Alex dành cho Tuyển Na, và cô hoàn toàn đồng ý để anh tiến đến với Tuyển Na để anh ấy thể bày tỏ cảm xúc của mình với người con gái anh yêu thương. Lời nói của chị khiến không khí trong phòng trở nên ấm áp, gần gũi hơn bao giờ hết. Tất cả những ánh mắt căn phòng đều đổ dồn về phía Alex, chờ đợi anh có hành động tiếp theo. Mà trong khoảnh khắc đó, thời gian như chậm lại. Alex trong lúc ấy đút tay vào túi quần, nơi anh đã dùng một chiếc nhẫn thật đẹp để cầu hôn Tuyển Na. Đó là một chiếc nhẫn kim cương lấp lánh bọc trong một màu đỏ đầy lãng mạn, tượng trưng cho tình yêu và sự chân thành của anh dành cho Tuyển Na.